So today I'm going to be teaching you guys a while loop, for loop, and I'm also gonna do a past paper. This is about Python. So you're going to learn while loop and for loop, and it will be advantageous for those who are doing INF 1511 because I'm also gonna do a past paper for INF 1511. So let's just begin with our lesson right now. So you might be asking yourself, what is a while loop? So a while loop repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. So how do you write a while loop? When you write a while loop in your, I'm using a PyCharm here, so you might be using different software to code. So when you write a while loop here, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm going to say count, for example. Okay, let me increase so that you can see my screen here. So I'm gonna say count, not see out, count. So in count, I'm going to make it equals to 0. Then I will have a while I say count is less than 5. It's less than 5, and I must put a semicolon, not semicolon. So when I put the semicolon there, I will print. I'm going to print. What am I going to print? I'm going to print a phrase. I will say first number. I will say count is, let's say for example, count is. So in this phrase, when I say count is, I will do a braces, then I'll write count. That's so that it can work, so that it will display this that statement there. Then I will have to increment my count. So I will increment my count by 1 plus equals to 1. So what I've done here, I've initialization is going to start at 0 while loop, where as long as the count is less than 5, it's gonna keep printing until this statement is false. Then after that, this one is for increment. So increment is going to be increasing by 1. So if you would love to watch the video about how to do an increment and a decrement, it's there in my YouTube channel. If you can't see it, just write a comment down and I will send you the link in the comment section. So now if we have done this programming, we can now run our code. So let's run our code. So if I run my code, you will see that it's gonna show that count is 0, count is 1 until 4. Why we are not getting 5 is because of we said less. But if you change here, you say less equals to, for example, in the code, we say less equals to, and you run again, you will see that it's gonna start from 0 until 5. So that's how you use a while loop. Remember the definition of a while loop. While loop is to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specific condition is what is true. So as long as this is false, then this is not going to print. As long as the statement gets false, then it's going to stop, in other words. So that's how we use a while loop. So now what I'm gonna go to, I will go to a for loop. I'm still gonna do more examples on while loop and for loop. So what is a for loop? A for loop is used to iterate over a sequence. It can be like a list or a string, so or other iterable objects. So how do you write a for loop in Python? Remember, we are coding in Python. So to write a for loop in Python, I will start with a simple example of fruits. So let me write a code about the fruits. So we have a fruit. So in this fruit here, we have, let's say we have apple. We also have banana, and we also have let me do some double quotation marking. Yes, and we also have maybe I love apples. So you can comment in the comment section. You can let me know which fruit do you like. We can just, okay, this one I was just gonna write any fruit. Then after that we have this. Then we can use a for loop. So in our for loop here, we're going to say for loop, and then we are going to call for fruit. In for fruit here, in what? In fruits, the fruits that we wrote the in fruits, and we put a semicolon, then we print. So what must is print? It must print those fruits. So I'm gonna use F double quotation mark. I like. Okay, what do I like? So for now I'm gonna say I'm gonna zoom as if I like all the fruits that I wrote there. I like that. Then now you will see that in this code here is going to print all these fruits that we just mentioned. We just mentioned here. So we can run our code. Let's run it and see what we're going to get. So you will see that I like apple. I like what? Apple. I like a banana. Uh, I like what is it? I like a chair, like that. So now you can be asking yourself, why is there no why is there no like space between like and apples? So I would like you guys to comment in the comment section, how can you fix that? So I'm giving you as a homework, but if you don't understand it, you can let me know, or you must tell us how you can fix that. So I'm going to show you how we can fix that. So the point button, okay, let me just tell you, as long as, but let me know, you can just put a space here. Then if we run now, you will see that there is a space. So that's how you do it. So this was just an example of the for loop. So in the for loop we also have the neatest for loop. So what is the neatest for loop? So the neatest for loop is when you are using two types of a for loop. So a for loop that is neatest, a neatest for loop, a neatest for loop is a loop inside another loop. It is commonly used for a iterating over multiple sequences. So that's the definition of neatest for loop. It's a loop inside another loop. So we are going to discuss about the neatest for loop. So let me know in the comment section if you would love me to add about the neatest for loop. So I'm gonna give you guys a break and you brainstorm, you think about this lesson, then we're gonna continue again. Thank you guys for being here today. And we are going to continue. I'm giving you 5 minutes break. We are going to take 5 minutes break and we're going to continue. Hello guys, how are you guys? So now we are going to discuss about the neatest for loop. So what is the neatest for loop? So the neatest for loop is a loop inside another loop. It's commonly used for iterating over a multiple sequences. So how do you write the neatest for loop here in PyCharm or in Python? So it must have, there will be a for loop and then the outer item and in outer item again, and another for loop which is inner item and inner item. So I'm gonna start to show you how you write a neatest for loop. So we're going to do a simple neatest for loop right now. So the simple neatest for loop that I'm going to talk about, you're gonna start with for. So in this for here, let me just increase so that if you can see. In this one here, we can say for I in range, for example, in range, let's say 3, we are going to make it 3. Then we're going to put the semicolon. Then again, this is an inner for loop. For, let's use J. For J in range, let's say 2. So it's going to be plugin. It's going to output as a coordinate, by the way. It's a coordinate. Let's write 2 there, semicolon. Then what exactly do we want this for loop to do? We want it to print I and J. So it's gonna start with 0 0, because remember it's gonna start with, if we starting is it gonna start with 1 or 0 1 0, so and so on and so on. So let me just print it so that you can see what I'm talking about with this for loop. So we're gonna put a bracket, then we put braces. The braces is first I, then we can separate them with comma, or you can just make a space, but I will make a comma now. Then we'll put another braces for J. For J. Then now if you run your code, you will see the output. So here the output, as I've said, is gonna start with 0, as you can see there. It's gonna start with 0, then 0 1 1 0 1 1 2 0 and 2 2 2 1. Those are where we can plug or we can iterate. We can use the for loop. the next test for loop. So this is, remember, you must have an outer for loop and you must also have an inner for loop. So the question might depend on what are you exactly doing with this for loop. So we're still going to proceed with our more examples, as I've said. So the example that I can also give you guys is the example of, we discussed about the next for loop. Now we're gonna go back to the for loop. So let's assume that you are given numbers. So in these numbers here we have, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. Then in these numbers, when we have 1 2 3 4 5, we want to get a sum. We make it equals to 0. Why we're going to make it equals to 0? Because we are going to add all these numbers, we are going to add them. So we make the sum equals to 0. Then we can use the for loop. So for number in what? In numbers. For number in numbers, what must happen? The sum must be plus equals to number. Then what must we do? We are going to print the sum. We're going to print, let me write in the new line. We're going to print, and here the lines, it means if I put this here, like I start writing my print here, it's going to be printing each and every time. So in order for us to get only one answer, we must go back so that it align with this for loop. So this space here, it means something. It means that everything writing after here is going to be under this for loop. So we're gonna rule that. So we're going to say print. So in this print here, f, and then we can say the sum is, so in this sum is, we're gonna put the braces and we'll write the sum. Then this statement is going to calculate all 1 plus 2 plus 3 6 10 and 15, which means when we run our code is going to, it must show us what? It must show us 15. The sum is 15. Okay, it's telling us that we have a problem here. So the problem is this idea. If you see, my number is not B there, so we just fixed it. Let's see again if we have another problem. We don't really have a problem anymore. So you will see that it's saying the sum is 15. So this is one of the examples of for loop. So it depends. There are many examples that I can give it to you guys based on the for loop. There are many examples that I can give you guys based on the for loop. So the other examples that I can give you, let me just think which example I can give you. Okay, it's fine. Let's say for example you have a text. So in this text, normally you say hello world. So today we're going to say equal to, we write hello Python. So in this one here, we're going to use for loop again. So for char, this is a char. For char in text. So this word here, it must be the same as that one there. For char in text, what must we do? We need to print char. We can just say print char. Say char. So when we run our code here, you will see that now it's printing this as a single character, as one letter. So you can also build a code whereby you can now write a code to check how many letters are in this word hello.char. So if you write that code, you can use it. So let's proceed with our examples again. So we might be having a lot of things. For example, we might be needing a name and an age of a person, and then after that we want to calculate, we want to print those age, names and the age. So when you want to do that, you can still use a for loop for that. So it's very simple, you can try it. So also you might want to print maybe a number from 2 up to 7 up to 8. You can use up to 7 or up to 8. You can use a for loop. So this one I'm talking about is very simple. I can still show you how you can do it. Let me just show you quickly. For I in range 2, let's say 2 and 8. So 2 and 8. So this one here we can print I. It's gonna display 2 up to 7. So let's run it. Let's run our code. You can see 2 starting 2 and it ends at 7 because the range is less, 1 less. So that's how you can also work with a for loop. So those are some of the example that you can work with for loop. So what I'm gonna ask you guys to do for me is that let me know in the comment section which kind of example would you love me to do, or like maybe you can just post a question that you want me to answer. Then I'm gonna answer you guys. I'm gonna show you the code, and then I'm gonna make a video, combine all the questions that you guys have written in the comment section. And then guys, I'm gonna give you a break again. So in this break now, we are going to be dealing with a question paper for INF 1511. It's a Python module. So I will see you later. Hello guys, welcome back. We took a break, we're back now. This is an INF question paper. It have I think it's 2 hours. It was on 2018. So we're going to start with some questions here. So I'm gonna be answering you guys some questions in this question paper. It says, what is the output of the following statement? So it says print morning, and there is a semicolon, the welcome back. So we check here in this side, we're going to check a statement with morning, and it must also have there is a space there. Morning. The second one, I will start. The first one, it looks fine, but it must have a space. So let's see the second one. The second one, you can see it's wrong. The second one, there is no comma. And then even the third one is wrong. There is no comma. And the fourth one is none of the above. So the answer is going to be number 1. So the right answer here is gonna be number 1. Is this one? This is the correct answer. And then we go to another one. Which statement is true about iterations? Okay, literals. The literals should be declared before they can be used. Literals are used to perform a specific function in a functions, strings or numbers that appears directly in a program. And then literals can be used as regular identifiers. So now we will check. You must know the definition of literal. So when you know the definition of a literal, you will be able to answer this question. So let me just give you the definition of the word literal. What is literal? So literals are fixed or constant value that is directly represented in your code. So literal are used to denote the specific values of data types. It can be like a numbers or a string, or maybe it's number, strings, or characters. So now when I've told you that that definitions, now we can do what? Now we can read and you can understand what is literal. So here they are saying, the first one say literals should be declared before they can be used. Okay, that statement, we can hold it there. Literals are used to perform a specific function in a program. Literals are used to function in a program. Okay, it sounds true also. It sounds true. It sounds true and a little bit, but literals are used to perform strings and numbers that appears directly in a program. All right, literals can be used as regular identifiers. Okay, so the number that I will go with is strings and numbers that appears directly in a program, because if you understand the definition, a definition what a literal is a fixed or constant value that is directly represented in your code. That's the definition of what of literals. And this one, strings or numbers that appear directly in a code in a program. So that's how I can say the answer is going to be number 3. So we can go comment in Python begin with n. So how do you comment in Python? So in some other, how do you comment in Python? So you can check all this character first, and then you will tell me. So you can check here in this all this character that we have there. We have hash, double slash, and star. So in Python, the letters, the comment is start with hash, this one. So that's the first one. That's the first. Now first option is the right answer for comment in Python begin with. So let's proceed. Which format code is used to display ISCI code? So if you check here, you have all this %A, %S, %I, %C. So you must know SI code is the table, not really a table, but there are those values whereby they will tell you that A equals to 65. So in Python, when we use a %C for the format code of ASCII. So the %C there is in option number 4. So the answer is going to be this one. So we have answered many of the questions here. So if you check, you're still going to go. This is June 2018. So I will try to do the question paper based on maybe November 2022 or 2021. So what guys I'm gonna request for you to do is that you can subscribe to this channel, and my WhatsApp number, they are gonna be below. If you will need more help, you can kindly WhatsApp me on my cell phone number, my WhatsApp. You can talk to me. My number is gonna be there down below in the description, and then I will also represent them in this video so that you can see my numbers. So guys, if you need me to help you more with INF 1511, kindly quickly talk to me as you are writing on Friday on the 17th November. So thank you guys. I will catch you up in the next video, and I will be waiting for your messages. Have a good day.